Hello and welcome to another garden update video. You will not believe the progress of my chili plants. It's been more than a month since my last garden update and yeah, growth has just exploded. A big part of that is down to the fact that the UK has been going through a bit of a heat wave over the last month and a half, 2 months. And I know a lot of you are probably laughing, UK heat wave, but yeah, I mean, it was ridiculously hot. The other problem with that is that we haven't had any rain for about 6 weeks. Let's go and start out inside the smaller greenhouse in Little Chump and see how things are getting on over there. Even with this heat wave and with how difficult it has been with the weather, I'm pretty pleased with how things are going. It has been a real challenge when you are working with such high temperatures, but as you can see, things are looking just gorgeous in here. Down this side, these are mainly my Cayenne style plants. These are my own saved seeds. Then we have, I think, if I just confirm, I think this is a Cayenne long slim. And we'll just scan this tag. Yep, those are Cayenne long slim. Now, these here don't look too different to my normal Cayenne. They are a little bit spicier, but they're not as meaty or as abundant as my normal Cayenne. Another favorite that I've had in the Cayenne family is my Ring of Fire. So if you've watched my video from making my Blazing Buffalo about 2 years ago, you'll know that I use the Ring of Fire in that. These are very hot Cayenne style peppers. They have a good sweetness to them, but probably about 3 times as hot as normal Cayenne. I think that is the Ring of Fire. Again, let me just scan and check. I'm scanning using Seedsio. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. It is really useful, especially as next season comes up. But yeah, you can see there, Ring of Fire. And I've got a few Ring of Fires in here, and I have a few others inside the other greenhouse as well. But we've been harvesting these. I've probably had about 2 kilograms of the Ring of Fire and probably 3 or 4 kilograms of the Cayenne Slim and the normal Cayenne. On this half of the greenhouse, we have my jalapenos. I've harvested about 4 or 5 kilograms of ripe jalapenos from this side, and these are just gorgeous. If you can get hold of jalapeno early, that's what they're called. They're just these beautiful, big, chunky jalapenos, and they've been just so delicious on the barbecue, on the braai, having stuffed jalapenos coated in bacon. But the ripe jalapenos as well, lovely, big and meaty, and like I said, I've been harvesting quite a few of these and I'll be using that in a couple sauces that I'm working on. Still got loads more to come. The season is quite a way off from being finished. I'd say we've probably got another month and a half, 2 months, but still got plenty coming through. So happy about that. But oh man, just look at these things. Just stunning. Over this side, some of my favorite chilies. These are Peppadews or Malawian Piquante because of some silly trademark issue. But yeah, basically these are Peppadews. If you've ever had pickled Peppadews from the supermarket, then you'll know just how delicious these things are. And I've got plenty coming through. These plants are doing really well. I have a feeling that these would do even better if you overwintered them and had them for a second season. But honestly, I get so many from these plants anyway. There's about 5 or 6 of these Peppadew plants, but I get so much of a harvest from them anyway. They are just so tasty. Got a bit of spice, but sweet, 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 and just perfect pickled. Yeah, this is looking good in here, but it's looking even better in the large greenhouse in Big Chump. Let's go have a look at what's going on in there. Honestly, this is one of my favorite things to do, is to walk in to this space because I'm surrounded by chili plants and they're all, well, for the most part, looking seriously healthy. It's just gorgeous. So down this left-hand side, these are all my Superhots and loads of ripe ones already. A few with a little bit of blossom end rot. That's down to irregular watering and a few other little issues, especially to do with the temperatures we've been having and the watering issues I've been having. But for the most part, they're looking really healthy. These are just gorgeous. The Naga Morich, it's a real classic. It's one of those that can get really large. They have a good amount of heat, but they're a fantastic flavor. These are my Moruga Scorpions from seeds that I've been saving over the last couple of years. And they're just absolutely beautiful, and starting to ripen out. Over here is a lovely one as well, the Big Black Mama. I've got some bigger pods of these on some of my other plants, but they're ripening up quite nicely as well. At the back there, those yellow ones, those are beautiful. Actually, it might be easier to see them if we go to the outside of the greenhouse. I get to see them every time I walk past, but check out those. Beautiful. Let's get back inside. It's actually a bit chilly today for a change. In the middle of all my Superhots is my CCLemonPiri plant. So this here is at F2, second generation, and the fruits are coming through just the way I wanted. It's got this little spade shape, and you can see they're fairly consistent. And we'll soon be moving on to F3, and we really start seeing some stabilization there. This one is my Fushimi that is a little bit different to what you'd expect, and I'm definitely going to be saving some seeds from this. It's got some striping going on, as you can see over there. A bit more prominent just before they fully ripen, because once they ripen, they've got a little bit of striping, but you can barely see it. It's mainly just red. But beautiful, beautiful plant, and it's got these lovely variegated leaves. I've been saving seeds from my Scotch bonnet plants. Look how huge these are. These actually aren't even as big as the plant that I've been getting the seeds from. As much as I don't like the taste of Scotch bonnets very much, I love the look of this plant, so we'll be growing them again next year. And also be putting some of these seeds in my seed store, so it's ChilliChumpSeeds.com if you are interested. I'm going to start putting in seeds for 2023 season. This here is the actual plant that I've taken the pods from for the seeds, and just check at that. They're all got this lovely little dome shape and just gorgeous. Mostly large sizes as well, about the size of a golf ball, I'd say. Here's some more of my Hainan yellow lanterns. Some sauce being made with these very soon. If you remember my one punch knockout, that will be back in the store very soon. Something I really want to show you though are my red Primotalis. The longest tails that I've ever seen on a pod. That is about the same length as the pod itself. Check at that. That is just so awesome. Got quite a few lovely pods on here. Not all of them have that tail, but that one there definitely has such a beautiful tail. Let's go take a look at one of my other plants that are absolutely gorgeous, and it's this guy over here, my fish pepper. That is just stunning. Never had a plant that grows quite like this. It looks so healthy. The one thing is, it's not actually putting out a lot of fruit, but I don't really mind. So it's got a couple fruit on it. There's been a lot of flower drop, but again, I think that's down to the heat levels that we've been having. You can see they're just small little pods, but I'm sure we're going to get a lot more pods coming through with the colder weather coming in. But isn't that just stunning? This plant right next to my fish pepper is my Trinidad Perfume. Now these are very interesting. They are from the capsicum chinense family, which typically are your hots and super hots, but these don't have any heat apparently. I've been told they taste amazing, and I've been told I need to try it, and what better time than on a video. So hey, let's pick a lovely example of one. The Trinidad Perfume. That's a little scary because thankfully there is no heat. There's a slight tingle, but it's got that it's got that capsicum chinense flavor. If you've had a Superhot before, you know what I mean. And that's the first thing that hits you is that flavor, that sort of sense of pain that's going to hit you, but then nothing comes. It's a very interesting experience, but yeah, there's no heat to it. They do taste good. I expect it to be a little bit sweeter, so maybe they need to ripen a bit more, but yeah, that's very weird. If you can get hold of one of these, try one out. Let me know in the comments below if you have tried one of these, if you know what I'm talking about. in terms of that flavor that hits you first. You know, it's always that scary flavor. Whenever you've eaten those super hots, you know exactly what I mean. It pops in your mouth and you're like, oh, here comes the pain. That doesn't do it. I have 2 types of peri peris. Again, they are both going to be in the ChilliChump seed store very soon. But these big guys over here, the ones that are hitting the ceiling already, that are above my head, these are my ChilliChump peri peri. These are ones that I've been selectively breeding for about a decade now. And yeah, they just grow like crazy. These are, of course, raised off the ground. That's some staging that they're on. So they aren't 10 foot high, but they are still lovely and big and bountiful. We've been picking these already for the last month and a half. We've already got about 3 or 4 kilograms of chilies off of these, and plenty more kilograms to come. On this side, these are my Moz peri peri. Again, just doing beautifully. They seem to have come in quite late. As soon as the temperature started dropping a bit, then we had plenty of these pods just flying out, and we'll get loads and loads of ripe ones coming from them very soon as well. At the back end are my big and tall plants. So I run a competition every year, and this year is the first time I'm doing the tall or the longest chili, but previous years I've done the heaviest chili. If you have got a contender, if you've got a long chili that's bigger than, I would say, about 27 centimeters, then you're in with a chance to win, because that's around about the longest that I've seen being entered so far. I will leave a link down below in the description if you want to see some more details of the competition. This plant is just amazing. If you can get hold of seeds for Bert the Chilli, you've got to grow them. It's just such a great plant. It grows so big and so quickly. They are from the Hippie Seed Company. I believe they are Capsicum Bactum. They are a little spicy, but definitely a very, very tasty chili. And the best thing for me, though, is that it just grows so quickly. I mean, look at the thickness of this stem. And this is just, it's huge. Over there, Chinese 5 color. They are just beautiful, beautiful. A lot of them are ripening up now. But I've still got quite a few coming through new. So they start off this purple color, and they go through to a cream, then a yellow, and then like an orange, and then finally red. These are my Buena Mulata, one of the earliest fruiting plants that I have each year. And yeah, they're just gorgeous, and they actually taste really good. They've got a kind of a cayenne sort of taste. They start off this beautiful, beautiful purple, and then they end up this red. And they also have these lovely purple flowers. This here is the Sugar Rush Stripey. Don't those look just like candy sitting in the tree? Just such lovely separation there with the lines. You can see there some beautiful examples on this. I will be putting seeds of this in my store, because this specific plant has just been amazing this year. I have got a few other Sugar Rush Stripeys, and make sure you save seeds if you do have a good example of them coming through, like with this one, because if they're coming through like over here, this is another Sugar Rush Stripey. You can see it's kind of just ending up this red-orange sort of color, no real stripes to it. There as well, just orange through to red. Yeah, because it can be a little bit inconsistent, but if you do have one of the plants coming through with this beautiful coloring on it, then definitely save seeds from it. And if you want seeds from this one, I will be putting them in my seed store very soon. This here is stunning. I still have seeds for this available. They are the red crystal spike. So I do have some in my store right now, and I will be putting more in a little bit later. But it's a beautiful plant, small chilies. They've got a good heat to them. I'd probably cook with them more than anything, because I think it would just be a pain to work with in terms of making a sauce. But it's a lovely plant, very bushy, very productive, and I think would make a fantastic bonsai. You can see their big old stem, and yeah, it's just beautiful. This stunning plant is my Aji Mango, and yeah, it's just beautiful. I have taken quite a few pods off this to dry for seeds. So again, these will be in the store as well, but very prolific plant, and it's had ripe fruit in it probably for the last 2.5 months. On this side, we've got mostly sweet chilies. So this is a Ramiro Yellow, and they taste sweet. Oh, Beautiful. I'd always recommend growing some sweet chilies. They are very healthy for you. Watch my video, I'll link it up above, 10 facts about chilies, and I mentioned there about how healthy they are for you. Tons of vitamin C, and you can't always snack on the Superhots. I mean, you can try, but it's not going to be too pleasant. These, however, very easy to eat, and they taste delicious. I prefer eating these to apples and things like that. These are another beautiful chili. I thought they were sweet chilies, but actually they got a bit of spice to them. They are the Beaver Dam. And yeah, I took one off the other day and took a big bite out of it, expecting it just to be sweet. And yeah, it had some spice to it, which is a bit of a shock when you're not expecting it, but yeah, it's not overwhelming. They still taste very, very sweet, but they've got that bite afterwards. It's so great to see the amount of progress that I'm seeing inside the greenhouses. I'm over the moon with it. Obviously there's things I want to improve, and every year I want to improve something. But compared to last year where I had so many frustrations, this year is just going like a dream. Even with the ridiculously hot weather, the lack of rain and all the rest of the setbacks, it doesn't matter, it's still going fantastically. I hope that your season is going brilliantly too, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video update. Until then, stay spicy.